In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to rename multiple files on Mac in one go. Here I have several images downloaded from the excellent site called Pexels that I want to use as desktop backgrounds. At the moment, they're all randomly named, so I wish to give them all the same name and order them sequentially. I'll start by showing you how to do this manually using Mac's built-in renaming tool. I'll then demonstrate how you can create a watch folder that will automatically rename any file you drop into it. And then finally, if you're looking to do something a little bit more sophisticated, such as using wildcards or regular expressions to rename files, then I'll demonstrate a free tool that you can download called Transnomino. Time tags are in the description below to skip ahead, so let's get started. To begin, select all of your files, right-click and choose Rename. Mac gives you three options when renaming multiple files. You can replace all or part of the existing file name, add additional text to the name, or format the text to include things like sequential numbering. The tool provides a handy example to show you what your changes will look like before you go ahead and make them. So here, if I simply want to replace the word Pexels with background, I can do this like so. Rather than replace any of the text, if I wanted to just add the word background to the beginning of the file name, I would use this option and you can see what it looks like here. However, if you're looking to do something a little bit more complex than just adding or replacing words, you'll need to use the Format option. This option allows you to replace the existing file name and add sequential numbering or a date and time. So here I can replace the existing text with the word background, and then I can either choose from index, which will just add a sequential number to either the start or the end of the name, or I can choose counter, which will add several digits to the name rather than just the one. Or I can also opt to add the current date and time. Once you're happy with your change, click Rename to complete the task. If renaming files is something that you do frequently, you can create an automation so that each time you copy or move a file to a certain folder, the file will automatically be renamed. Here I've created a folder called Rename Files. Each time I drop a file into this folder, I want the file name to be renamed automatically. To do this, open the Automator app, and since we're linking the automation to a folder, we'll choose Folder Action from the options. First thing to do is choose the folder you wish the automation to apply to. Having done that, we now want to find the appropriate action from the library, and the easiest way I find to do this is to search. Having found your action, drag it to your workflow. Since this workflow is going to change the files that we add to it, the app asks if we wish to include making a copy of the files just in case. In this instance, since I'm only altering the file name and not the contents of the file, I'm not too worried, so I'll choose Don't Add. Now we can set the changes we wish to make to our file names. You can see we have similar options to before when we renamed the files manually. We can add a date and time, add text before or after the existing file name, and replace part of the text. But for this demo, I want to rename the files into sequential order. By default, you can add sequential numbers to the existing file name, but I'll rename mine to background. As with the manual method, we're shown an example of how the new file name will look. We have a few additional options that we didn't have before, such as whether to include a character to separate the number and the text. I'm happy not using one, so I'll choose nothing. We can then set the number of digits we wish to represent our number. Once you're happy with your setup, click on File in the menu and choose Save, and give your automation a name. And then it's time to give it a try. So here is my folder that will run the automation. I'll press Command T to open a new tab and navigate to the files that I want to rename. Then it's just a matter of copy and pasting the files into my automation folder. And there we go, 26 files renamed automatically to be in sequential order. Finally, if you're looking for a tool that is a little bit more sophisticated with a lot more features for altering file names than what's offered by Apple, I recommend a free app called Transnomino. You can download Transnomino from transnomino.com, and if you find the app useful, you can thank the developer by shouting them a coffee. Once downloaded, install the app in the usual way by dragging it to your Applications folder. Once open, click on the drop-down menu to choose your action. You have similar options as the Apple tool, such as adding text before and after the file name, but you can also insert text into the middle of the file name, which is pretty cool. You can also trim file names, which might be useful to you, and as I said, you can also use regular expressions, which is something that I've never managed to get my head around. Another cool feature of the app is that you're not just limited to editing the file name. You can also edit the path of where the file is located and the file extension. And you're not just limited to a single change. You can make multiple changes to a file which will execute one after the other by adding additional actions here. For this demo, I want to insert text into the middle of the file names I previously altered. So I'll choose Insert from the menu and then drag and drop my images onto the app window. Now, since these are going to be desktop background pictures, I want to insert the word picture before the sequential numbering. So I'll add the text and then I'll set the offset value to 10, which is the number of characters in the word background. As with the Apple tool, we're shown what the new file names will look like, and when you're happy, click Rename. And there we have it. My files are now renamed to read background picture in sequential order. So that is how to rename files on Mac. If you found the video useful, I'd appreciate you giving me a like and hitting subscribe for lots more useful tips and tricks on all your Apple devices. And you might also be interested in finding out how to password protect folders on your Mac, or the easiest way to share a Wi-Fi password. Until next time, my name is Anthony. Thank you very much for watching.